Hello and welcome back to Distance Learning 2.0. Before we begin today, I have just a couple of announcements how the rest of the school year will look for us. Believe it or not, there are only 5 days left this school year that we'll have math. A total of 10 days, maybe only even 9. I think there's only nine days left, but 5 days of math. Today, we'll be looking at statistical questions, learning whether or not a question has to do with statistics. And then we're going to dive into statistics for the rest of the school year. On Wednesday, we're going to understand data. We're going to look at the center, the shape, and the spread. On Friday, we're going to display data, day 1, where we'll look at dot plots and box plots. And then Tuesday, on the 19th, we'll be displaying data, day 2. We'll look at stem and leaf diagrams. Those are some of my favorite. It'll also wrap up our math class lessons for the school year because Thursday, May 25th, is the last day. We're not going to have any heavy math lessons. It is just a half day, but we will have videos from your teachers and end of year details, as well as spending some time reflecting on 6th grade. 5 more math lessons to go for the rest of the year. Buckle in, we're ready to go. One more thing. This week is also MNPS Wellness Week. I'm representing my shirt from last year. It's a fun way to get involved, especially during this time that we're all stuck at home and away from each other. I will post the details down below for today's lesson, and I'll keep them on our Schoology page all week. But essentially every day they have a different challenge, from going for a walk to drinking water instead of soda or other drinks. And you can share on Instagram, Twitter, if you feel like it. If you don't, you can participate and just do it on your own. Either way, I would love to have you participate. I think they may even have prizes. I'm not sure. I'll get the details below for you. But today we're going to keep it short and sweet, and then we're going to dive straight into IXL. I'm actually going to do IXL just as you'll see it, and then we'll talk about some of the questions and whether or not questions are statistical. So statistics has to do, as we've talked before, and if you've read my emails during this time apart, we had some details about what statistics is. It's whether or not it's the chances of things happening. It's how often things happen. It has to do with chance and odds. Really fun, really applicable to life. It can be anything from playing board games, rolling dice, to looking at the stock market, to even potentially taxes. If you're interested in taxes, let's talk and how statistics plays into that. But statistical questions, they're pretty simple and straightforward. They are questions that require data to answer. And then we also want to say, hey, these statistical questions, the answer or the data is expected to vary. So the data is expected to vary. What that means is when you ask this question to different people, you won't always get the same answer. If you ask people what year I was born, everyone will give you, if they know the answer, the right year. If you ask somebody what year the new Goodlettsville Middle building was opened, they will all tell you the same year. Statistical questions have different answers. So they would be, when were you born? Obviously, if you ask me that question and you ask another person in our class, you're going to get very different answers. Another type of statistical question would be, how old are you? Or how long is your drive to school? Because we all live in different places, you'll get very different answers. Now, if you ask them, how long was Mr. Spencer's drive to school, everyone would have the same answer, so it would not be statistical. That's it. We're going to have some examples and some things that are non-examples. So an example would be ages, what is what are the ages of middle schoolers? And then one of those that would not be an example having to do with age, what is Dr. Dempsey's age? Of course, if you don't know that, you wouldn't be able to answer it, but theoretically, everyone would have the same answer if they knew her age. Another example of a question, we already talked about this. How far do middle schoolers live from Goodlettsville Middle? And then something like that would be not an example of a statistical question, it would not be a statistical question, would be how far does Mr. Spencer live from Goodlettsville Middle? Because I only live one distance from Goodlettsville Middle. So the things we'll notice are these down here that are not examples only have one right answer. Whereas the examples we have up here have many correct answers if you ask different people. So that's the difference between a statistical question and a non-statistical question. So to make this easier on us, getting how this works, I'm going to pull IXL up here. I'm going to make it take up much more of my screen. Then we are going to dive in and take a look at some questions. We're going to be in HH1. And here we go. So, is the following a statistical question? I'm going to zoom in just because we can. How many letters are in the how many letters are in the English alphabet? Well, we could count A, B, C, D, E, F, so on, all the way to Z. But every time we would get 26 letters. Does that ever change? No. It is always 26 letters, so there's only one correct answer. So because there are not more than one correct answer, it is not statistical, and we have now lost what we were doing. We're gonna hit no, then we're gonna hit submit. We got it, awesome. All right, is the following a statistical question? How much allowance do sixth graders receive? Now, I bet if I ask you, and I bet if I ask the person sitting next to you in our math class, back when we were actually in math class, you all might have different answers. So are there different answers that are correct? Yes, that means it is statistical. All right, we got this. Let's keep going. How heavy are elephants? Ooh, that's a great question. Do elephants all weigh the same? No. So are there different answers that could be correct? Yeah. So I think that is true because, let's see. Here's my thinking. I'm gonna jump back here and I'm gonna draw my different elephants. And I might be wrong. I have not gone through these questions yet, but here's my elephant. I don't really know how to draw an elephant. It's got a long trunk. Well, this is a really terrible elephant. I am so sorry. You got this elephant, got a smile, and you got this elephant. Well, these are terrible. I am so sorry. If you can draw me a better elephant, please do. Whew, that is terrible. There are different sized elephants. This one's a baby elephant, and this one's not a baby elephant, an adult elephant. So I'm going to say they weigh different amounts. And since they can weigh different amounts, I'm going to also say that there are different answers that are correct. Let's see if we got this right. Yes, awesome. All right. How many hours of sleep did you get last night? All right. It's a great question. I'm not sure on this one. Because if it's asking how many hours I got, I only got one amount of sleep. So I'm going to say, no, it's not statistical because there is only one correct answer. Awesome, we got that. All right, how far does my best friend live from school? Okay, I'm going to jump back to my little map here. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. I'm going to jump back and I'm going to draw a little map. Here's Goodlettsville Middle. There's Mr. Barton's house. His distance is not going to change ever. So is there more than one correct answer for how far my friend lives from Goodlettsville Middle School? No, there is not more than one correct answer. So, I clicked the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. So there is not more than one correct answer. Mr. Barton only lives one distance from Goodlettsville Middle School. So we're going to say no. In what year did Thomas Jefferson become president of the United States? Well, I'm going to be real honest. I do not remember the year that Thomas Jefferson became president of the United States of America, but I do know it happened on one day. So if you ask anybody, are there more than one correct answers to this question? No. There are not more than one correct answers. So it is not a statistical question. Now, as you're going through these, if you get one wrong, please read why. I'm going to say, no, this is how many eggs are in a typical cake recipe. I'm going to say no. Doesn't sound statistical. Every cake has the same recipe. We got it wrong. Okay, we answered no. This says a statistical question requires data to answer it. The data is expected to vary. So then we're going to look at what it says about the question. Read the question. How many eggs are in a typical cake recipe? This question can be answered by collecting data on cake recipes. Since different recipes can use a different number of eggs, the data is likely to vary. So this is a statistical question. All right, I got that now. All right, now this one says, what is my best friend's favorite movie? Well, my best friend, his favorite movie is never going to change. So there are not more than one correct answer, so we're going to say no. Awesome. If you have any questions on this, please let me know. I know this can get a little tricky, but refer to what we looked at in this video. If you get something wrong on Excel, please make sure to read why it was wrong, and you are going to do great things. Awesome. Have a great Monday. If you need anything, I am here. Just let me know. Have a great day.